Thank you, John, for those comments. My name is Matt Hayek. I serve as the Iowa City Mayor presently, but I am here as an individual concerned about my community. I'm 40 years old. I have spent 27 of those 40 years here in Iowa City. I'm raising a family here. I have a law practice downtown. I am downtown almost every day of the week. And I care deeply about this community. I am one of many individuals who are banding together in an attempt to protect the recently enacted 21 ordinance, assuming it goes to a public vote this fall. Earlier this spring, the City Council voted 6-1 to make the bar entry age consistent with the legal drinking age, which is 21. I think it's safe to say this vote was the culmination of more than a decade of what I would call limited measures enacted by the City Council intended to address issues relating to alcohol in our downtown. I'm talking about a variety of approaches that the council has taken, ranging from higher penalties for alcohol-related crimes to multiple task forces and partnerships formed to try to create workable solutions, to asking the bars to do more to prevent underage possession and consumption in their establishments, and to deploying more and more of our limited tax dollars to support law enforcement and every other arm of city government that has to deal with these issues. In my estimation, these have had a limited impact. Despite the growing problems surrounding alcohol in our downtown during these years, the council on at least one occasion has been convinced to back off and give the bars the benefit of the doubt, give them an opportunity to figure out ways to prevent these problems themselves. This approach has not worked, with some exceptions, no doubt about it, and I want to echo Mr. Ballmer's comments that this is not directed at every last person who goes downtown and every last bar who is operating downtown. There are plenty of good actors, and they should be recognized as well. But in the aggregate, the bars have proven unwilling or unable to police themselves. And some have fought the city again and again on measures designed to curb underage and binge drinking. The most recent example was the PALA, or Underage Possession Policy, passed by the City Council in 2009. This was a unanimous vote by the City Council intended to address the underage consumption and possession issues in bars downtown. The basic message to the bars was, we're not going to police you. We're asking you to police yourselves and figure out how within your own establishments to prevent against underage consumption and possession. We established a reasonable standard, which was that there should not be more than one underage possession ticket issued per visit on average. That's all it said. The response to this new policy was to sue the city. We received a lawsuit, and we're presently involved in litigation with respect to that PALA policy. And thus far, the bar's message in that matter has been, we can't control underage possession in our establishments. Thus far, the law has said that the city cannot make them control underage possession in their establishments. So the bars say they can't do it, and the law says we can't make them do it. This was one of the last straws for the City Council. Some members of the council have always been in favor of 21. Others came around to it. Even after giving the bars the benefit of the doubt for years, they concluded that we had tried almost everything short of going 21, and the situation was not improving. And by early this year, 6 of the 7 city councilors were on board and had decided that enough was enough. This ballot issue is not about the drinking age. It's important to remember that. It is not about the drinking age. That is a state and federal issue. The city has no control over what the drinking age is. If you believe that a person should be able to vote and drink and be drafted at the same age, I have no quarrel with your belief. This ballot issue instead is about allowing people who under state law cannot legally consume or possess into bars. And as a municipality, the city is obligated to enforce the law. The majority of Big Ten communities are already 21. And until the recent ordinance, Iowa City was operating under this fiction that suggested that underage patrons were going into bars, but not to drink. The statistics show otherwise. Almost 1/2 of all ambulance calls in the downtown area are alcohol related. And of those, a third of those ambulance calls concern underage people. The top 4 age brackets locally for public intoxication offenses are all 21 or under. There are plenty of other statistics that are alarming, and we intend during the campaign to educate the public with those statistics. I think you will see a lot of people really surprised, dismayed, and alarmed by these figures. Iowa City has also become a destination for underage drinkers from well beyond the boundaries of this community. People who drive in from hours away, schools all around the Midwest, to get into our bars, drink illegally, and then drive home. We are hearing from the leaders of these institutions. The university is hearing from the leaders of those institutions. They range from Iowa Wesleyan to Wartburg to St. Ambrose and all sorts of places, who tell us that the problems we're having are also their problems because their students are coming here to drink in our bars. I think public opinion has shifted in recent years. I believe there is more awareness of the problems associated with safety and with public health in our downtown area. I think there's a growing embarrassment over our reputation as a party campus and as a party town. I think there's an impatience with the lack of results over the last 10 or 15 years. And I think there's a general belief that we need to protect our downtown for the enjoyment of all our residents. As Nick Westergaard, our campaign manager, explained to you, this new ordinance, which went into effect June 1st, is far less sweeping than you might imagine. It merely changes the minimum bar entry age to be consistent with the legal drinking age. As with the old ordinance, which said you could get in at age 19, the new ordinance only applies after 10 p.m. It does not apply to establishments for whom food is more than half of their revenue. And it provides an exception for music venues that want to hold all ages shows. I am pleased to see strong and early support from so many of our respected community leaders. Thus far, and we've only been an entity for a couple of weeks, we have the senior leadership of the University of Iowa, from the president on down, supporting this fully, members of the City Council, officials from Johnson County, both of our public high school principals, several local state legislators, including Representative Vicki Lensing, who is here in the crowd today, and I appreciate her presence, also Senator Joe Bolcom and Representative Mary Masher, public health leaders around the community. All of our former mayors, save one, have expressed their support for this measure. And among them, Ernie Lehman, who's in the crowd, and John Balmer, who spoke to you this morning, are present here today. I thank them for their support. Many business leaders and plenty of other people who I believe will join the list, the growing list of supporters for this campaign. So having said that, certainly a key component of all of this is the university's involvement. And for that, I will turn the podium over to Tom Rothman.